Kristal Hart, and we are at the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. And this is the weigh-ins. This is for the fight, the heavyweights. We have Jared, the real big baby Anderson, going up against Charles, the Prince Martin. And now, the weigh-in.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Huntington Center in beautiful downtown Toledo, Ohio. This is boxing. This is Top Rank, presented by Hall of Fame boxing promoter Mr. Bob Arum. Brought to you this weekend by AutoZone. Get in the zone. By Bud Light, the official beer of celebrations. And by Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Starring Tom Cruise, only in theaters July 12th. It all goes down tomorrow night, Saturday, July 1st, from right here inside the Huntington Center, Toledo, Ohio. First time for Top Rank Boxing here as the homecoming of Jared Anderson continues all week long. Our co-feature is one for the ages, two undefeated heavyweights in Arslanbek Lion Makhmudov. He's taking on Raphael, Akpejiori, and our main event, Jared, the real big baby Anderson, taking on Prince Charles Martin. A huge undercard. It is stacked. A ton of young up-and-coming prospects. Let's get them on the scale. Our first bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Please welcome from Vega Alta, Puerto Rico, Nicklaus La Bestia Flaz, and his opponent from Deer Park, New York, Jahi Tucker. First on the scale, Nicklaus La Bestia Flaz. $151.3, $151.3 for Flaz. And his opponent from Deer Park, New York, Jahi Tucker. Ladies, I'm going to need you to back up here real quick. Ladies, if you could grab the back right here. Pull it this way just a little bit. You grab right there. You grab right there. There we are. 151.8, 151.8 for Jahi Tucker. This is our first bout of the evening, scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. From Vega Alta, Puerto Rico, Nicklaus La Bestia Flaz. From Deer Park, New York, Jahi Tucker. 8 rounds in the junior middleweight division. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior lightweight division. From Monterrey, Colombia, Deivi El Caba Julio, and his opponent from right here in Toledo, Ohio, Tyler, the Golden Child McCreary. First on the scale, Deivi El Caba Julio. $131.1 for El Cabo Julio. Contracted weight on this bout is 131. He weighed in at 131.1. Now we're clear, 130.9. 130.9 for El Cabo Julio. 130.9. His opponent from Toledo, Ohio, Tyler, the Golden Child, McCreary. 131.1. Gentlemen, we need that back. 131.1. We're going to do the exact same thing one more time. Contracted weight is 131. $131 on the nose for the Golden Child, McCreary. 131. This bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior lightweight division. From Monterrey, Colombia, Deivi El Cabo Julio. From Toledo, Ohio, Tyler, the Golden Child, McCreary. 6 rounds in the junior lightweight division. Our next bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Please welcome from Huma, Louisiana, Rance, Pressure Ward, and his opponent from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, Husam, Lionheart Al-Mashhadi. First on the scale, Rance, Pressure Ward. $153.6. 153.6 for Ward. His opponent from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, Husam Lionheart Al-Mashhadi. $151.2. 151.2 for Husam Al-Mashhadi. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division. From Huma, Louisiana, Rance, Pressure Ward, and from Dearborn Heights, Michigan, Husam Lionheart Al-Mashhadi. 6 rounds in the junior middleweight division. Our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Please welcome from Columbus, Ohio, Mirady, Zola, and his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Dante, Free Smoke Benjamin Jr. First on the scale, Mirady, Zola. $173.9, 173.9 for Mirady, Zola. And his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Dante, Free Smoke, Benjamin Jr. $173.3, 173.3 for Dante, Free Smoke, Benjamin Jr. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. From Columbus, Ohio, Mirady Zola. From Cleveland, Ohio, Dante Free Smoke Benjamin Jr. 6 rounds in the light heavyweight division. Immediately following the weigh-ins this afternoon, our beautiful top-ranked knockouts will be in the entryway to the Huntington Center, doing meet and greets, saying hello, and taking pictures with each and every one of you. And it will happen again tomorrow prior to fights in the lobby here at the Huntington Center. Make sure you get down here early and say hello to the ladies. Our next bout is scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Please welcome from New Orleans, Louisiana, Jonathan John Boy Montrel, and his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Tiger Johnson. First on the scale, Jonathan John Boy Montrel. 140.6. 140.6 for Jonathan John Boy Montrel. And his opponent from Cleveland, Ohio, Tiger Johnson. 141.2. 141.2 for Tiger Johnson. This bout scheduled for 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. From New Orleans, Louisiana, Jonathan John Boy Montrel. From Cleveland, Ohio, Tiger Johnson. 8 rounds in the junior welterweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is scheduled for 10 rounds for the NABF heavyweight title. Please welcome from Lagos, Nigeria, by way of Miami, Florida, Raphael Akpejiori, and his opponent from Mazdak, Russia, fighting out of Montreal, Canada, Arslanbek Lion Makhmudov. First on the scale, Raphael Akpejiori. 255.5. 255.5 for Raphael Akpejiori. And his opponent, fighting out of Montreal, Canada, Arslanbek Lion Makhmudov. 263.4, 263.4. We finally got one for Arslanbek Lion Makhmudov. This bout scheduled for 10 rounds for the NABF heavyweight title. From Miami, Florida, Raphael Akpejiori. From Montreal, Canada, Arslanbek Lion Makhmudov. 10 rounds for the NABF heavyweight title. Our next bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the lightweight division. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, Alex de Oliveira. And from Cleveland, Ohio, Abdullah Mason. First on the scale, Alex de Oliveira. One 136.5 for the Oliveira. Next on the scale from Cleveland, Ohio, Abdullah Mason. 135.2 for Abdullah Mason. This bout scheduled for 6 rounds in the lightweight division. From Sao Paulo, Brazil, Alex de Oliveira. From Cleveland, Ohio, Abdullah Mason. 6 rounds in the lightweight division.
I'm Remington Hart here on the Kristal Hart Show, and today we are in Toledo, Ohio at the Huntington Center for Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson, versus Charles, the Prince Martin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to weigh in our main event. 10 rounds for the WBO International WBC USA Heavyweight Championships. Please welcome, from St. Louis, Missouri, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Prince Charles Martin. And from Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson. First on the scale, Prince Charles Martin. $250.5 for Prince Charles Martin. Next on the scale from right here in Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson. $243.4 for Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson. This is our main event. 10 rounds for the WBO International WBC USA Heavyweight Championships. From St. Louis, Missouri, Prince Charles Martin. From Toledo, Ohio, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson. 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. This is our main event. It all begins tomorrow at 6:15 Eastern on ESPN Plus, and then we switch over to the network, ESPN, at 10 o'clock Eastern. This is our main event. Prince Charles Martin, Jared, the real Big Baby Anderson. 10 rounds in the heavyweight division. As always, this is boxing. This is Top Rank. We will see you tomorrow.
And I'm Kristal Hart reporting from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. Hope you've enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the fights.